Have you ever felt haunted by someone's presence? Even when they're gone. No messages, no calls, no signs, and yet they live in your thoughts, quietly occupying your mind like a soft echo that never fades. You wake up and they're there. You go about your day, and somehow, in the quiet moments, they return. Not as a memory, but as an energy, a pull, a connection you can't fully explain. This isn't coincidence. It's not obsession. It's psychology. It's energy. And sometimes, it's unfinished emotion. So, what does it truly mean when someone lives in your mind without a single word being exchanged? 1. The power of emotional imprint. Human connection isn't built from words. It's built from emotion. Every moment that made you feel, whether joy, desire, rejection, or pain, writes itself deep into your subconscious. Our brains are wired to prioritize emotion over logic. That's why even when communication ends, your mind replays that person like a song stuck on repeat. They touched something inside you, a memory, a dream, or a wound. And the mind, desperate for understanding, keeps circling back, hoping to make sense of it. You're not weak for thinking of them. You're simply human, remembering the one who left an emotional fingerprint on your soul. 2. Unfinished business between souls. When someone lingers in your thoughts, it often means something between you was left unresolved. Maybe the story ended too soon. Maybe the words you wanted to say were swallowed by silence. Or maybe you both walked away, while your hearts still reached for each other in the dark. Psychologically, the brain hates incomplete stories. It craves closure. So your thoughts become your mind's way of keeping that door slightly open, replaying old scenes, imagining what if, or searching for answers that reality never gave. Spiritually, it's the soul whispering, "This connection isn't finished yet." Not necessarily to continue, but to heal, learn, release. 3. A sign of a subconscious bond. There are moments when thinking of someone isn't random, it's resonance. Have you ever thought of a person only to see their name pop up, or suddenly feel emotional out of nowhere, only to find out something happened to them? Science calls it intuition. Energy healers call it frequency alignment. Psychology calls it empathic attunement. Whatever the label, it's real. When two people form a deep emotional or energetic bond, distance and silence cannot erase that thread. Your subconscious can still sense them, their moods, their shifts, their memories. Because at one point, your energy is synchronized, and the mind doesn't forget that frequency easily. You keep tuning into it, like a radio signal that only your heart can hear. But what if these constant thoughts aren't about them, but about you? What if their presence in your mind is a mirror, showing you your own emotions, desires, or wounds that still need to be healed? Stay with me. In part 2, I'll uncover the hidden psychological and spiritual truths from emotional projection to the mysterious pull of telepathic energy. 4. The mirror of your own feelings. Sometimes, when a person keeps showing up in your mind, it isn't about them thinking of you. It's about you. Your own emotions echoing back at you. That person becomes a mirror, reflecting something you're carrying inside. Maybe they represent love that was never expressed, pain that was never healed, or longing that still hasn't found peace. Your thoughts about them are not just memories, they're messages. Your subconscious is using their image as a symbol, trying to show you what's missing within. It's like your heart whispering, "This isn't about them anymore. This is about you." Because sometimes, the person you can't stop thinking about isn't the one you need. They're the one who revealed the parts of yourself that still crave understanding, closure, or love. 5. The law of attraction at work. Energy doesn't lie. What you focus on, you feed, and what you feed grows. Every time you think of someone with intensity, you're sending out a vibration, a frequency that reaches them, consciously or not. This is why sometimes they reappear out of nowhere. A message, a dream, a coincidence that doesn't feel like coincidence. In psychology, this is the reticular activation system, your brain's way of filtering reality to notice what matches your focus. But in the unseen world, it's the law of attraction. Your thoughts becoming magnetic. And that's why you must be careful where you place your emotional energy. Because the mind is an amplifier, and the universe is always listening. 6. The battle between the mind and the heart. There's a silent war that begins when someone disappears from your life, but not from your thoughts. Your mind says, let it go. Your heart whispers, but they mattered. This tug of war is where most people get trapped, replaying what was, imagining what could be, and resisting what is. The absence of communication doesn't silence the emotion, it amplifies it. Because what's denied demands attention. So when you find yourself thinking of them constantly, it's not weakness. It's your heart's attempt to make peace with what the mind hasn't yet accepted. The challenge is not to erase them, but to balance both forces, to honor what you feel without letting it control you. That's emotional maturity, the core of dark psychology and self-awareness. 7. Hidden lessons in the connection. Not every person who enters your mind is meant to stay in your life. Some arrive to awaken you, others to test you, and a few to teach you something your soul couldn't learn alone. When someone keeps reappearing in your thoughts, it might be your intuition pointing toward a lesson unfinished. Maybe you're meant to learn patience, maybe detachment, or maybe they were the mirror through which you finally understood your worth. Every recurring thought is a teacher in disguise. And the moment you understand what that connection came to teach, the mental noise begins to fade. Not because the person disappears, but because the lesson is complete. But what about the strange moments that go beyond logic when you feel their presence, sense their emotions, or dream of them right before they reach out? That's not just psychology. That's energy. Connection beyond words. In Part 3, we'll dive into the mystery of telepathic energy, soul connections, spiritual meaning, and how to find peace when someone lives in your thoughts but not in your life. 8. The mystery of telepathic energy. Have you ever suddenly felt a wave of emotion, a sudden warmth, a chill, or a pang of sadness, and then later discovered that something happened to the person you were thinking of? That's not fantasy. It's resonance. Across history, countless people, lovers, twins, friends, have described feeling each other's emotions, despite being miles apart. Psychology may call it empathic sensitivity, but energy science calls it vibrational connection. When two people share a powerful emotional experience, their energy fields become attuned, like two instruments that still hum to the same note, even when they're far apart. You think of them because on some level, they're thinking of you too. Your minds might be silent, but your energies are still in conversation, whispering across distance and time. It's the unspoken dialogue of souls that once knew each other deeply. A telepathic pull that reason can't dissect, but the heart instantly recognizes. 9. The spiritual meaning. From a spiritual perspective, when someone keeps living in your thoughts, it could mean your souls are walking a shared path, one that began long before this. lifetime. Some call it karmic connection, others soul contract. It doesn't always mean you're meant to be together romantically. Sometimes it means you're meant to evolve through each other. Maybe their role was to awaken something within you, to show you love or loss or the power of letting go. Maybe they're part of your soul's curriculum, a teacher disguised as a lover, a mirror disguised as a memory. Until the lesson is complete, the universe keeps their energy in your orbit. It's not punishment, it's guidance. Because some bonds exist to push you into your highest form, even if it breaks you first. 10. What should you do? So, what do you do when someone won't leave your mind? When silence becomes louder than words? First, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what do they represent? Is it love, regret, a dream unfulfilled? The answer will tell you why they linger. Second, seek closure, but not always through them. If communication isn't possible, write what you wish you could say. Pour it out. Burn the page if you must. Release the energy trapped inside you because healing starts when expression begins. Third, stop fighting the thoughts. Resistance only feeds them. Instead, allow their image to come. Acknowledge it. And then gently shift your focus to peace. Remember, what you accept dissolves. What you resist persists. Fourth, refocus your power inward. Channel that emotional energy into something creative, your work, your growth, your passion. The more you expand your own light, the less space the past can occupy. And finally, trust the timing of the universe. If that connection is meant to return, it will. If not, life will quietly replace the echo with something new, someone new, who meets you on your next chapter's frequency. When someone is always in your mind, without any communication, it means their essence has intertwined with yours emotionally, psychologically, or spiritually. It doesn't always mean they're the one, but it always means they've touched something true inside you. So don't curse the memories, don't drown in the silence. Instead, see it for what it is. Proof that you are capable of deep feeling, of real connection, of love that transcends words. Because sometimes thinking of someone constantly isn't about missing them. It's about remembering who you became when they entered your life. And maybe that's the real purpose of their presence. Not to stay, but to awaken the part of you that now refuses to sleep again. If this spoke to you, take a deep breath. You're not crazy. You're just human. Beautifully, painfully, profoundly human. This is the Stoic Path, and I'm Amelia. If you crave to understand the unseen side of love, emotion, and the human mind, subscribe and stay curious about the shadows that live inside us all.